tank update. So we got our live rock delivered from Cairns Marine. They just dropped it off with like a big crane, craned it down with the truck. And we got all the rock now in the tank. We just put it slowly in. We have the bigger parts, like a bigger rock and chop. This is not a final scape, don't worry. I'll make a reef scaping kind of video too with Linda and the boys. And the little bits are in the sump for now, so they're nicely separated. And we know if we need a big one for the scape, we'll take it from the top, and the little ones we always have in the bottom. But what I want to actually tell you about live rock today is quite important, because I think there's a big misconception about live rock out there right now. So first off, there is a misconception that is unsustainable, right? So that's not true. Live rock collected here in Australia, it will be like 0.1% of everything that grows every year, right? So they can only take a 0.1% of what actually grows every year back as coral, right? That's sustainable collection. So it's really very well managed over here in Australia, and even in Indonesia, I think you're pretty good, you know, with live rock and sustainability. The other one is that, you know, there's things like hitchhikers, like things that you don't want to have in your aquarium coming with it. That's true, it can happen, but it is definitely manageable, you know. So in the past we managed it in a biological way. There's no issue with it. You can sometimes get some crabs out there or whatever, but honestly, the benefit is way bigger than that downside. Okay, so don't worry about it. You will get stuff in that you don't want to have in there anyway, by getting your corals in there and getting your, you know, getting your livestock in there. So you will need to manage that anyway. So that live rock, not really a big deal. Even, especially when it's cured before, that's a good way to do it if you're afraid of stuff to come up with it introduce them into your tank. Get cured rock, right? Very important though, that some people really kind of tend to forget, is live rock is two things, two functionalities. One is a nice scape, nice cover with coralline algae, pinkish, you know, already kind of ready as a rock, right, for scaping. But the other one, most important one, is the filtering functionality. So it's a filter too, very similar to your skimmer, right? So I know it is expensive, but what you get is two things. You get a nice scape and you get a filter, way more important, okay? So nowadays people are talking about biome, about, you know, bacteria in their tank, introducing bacteria, how to introduce bacteria. All these things are really not needed as soon as you get live rock, because you introduce a lot of perfect biome bacteria into your tank. It's a perfect biome for a reef, because that's where the bacteria lives, right? On surface and inside this rock, right? And it helps you, all this bacteria help you with organic carbon, for example. People talking about that. That's chewed up. If you look at all the results we got, the ones with live rock always have lower organic carbon. And in the, you know, Triton method, you anyway do not have that much problems with organic carbon, because you're not dosing any and stuff, so it's kind of not a big deal. But even if other methods that, you know, tend to dose organic carbon live rock, works really well. It kind of uses up that organic carbon quicker. It, you know, it helps you with nitrification. It's just a perfect filter, right? So if you look at it that way, it's like saying, okay, live rock is a bit too expensive for me, so I'm not buying it. Then you could also say, well, you know, the skimmer is a little bit too expensive for me. It's a filter too, so I'm not buying it, you know? Just have a look, understand it that way. So you leave out a filter if you leave out live rock. If you can, I recommend always to get live rock. I know it's kind of hard to get, and that's because, not because there is none anymore, just because most of you tend to choose to go the man-made rock way. And that's why people stock man-made rock easier or better, and it's easier to stock too than live rock, right? But if you go and ask for live rock, people can import it still. There is licenses like quotas out there for it. So there's no problem at all. And I would really strongly recommend, if you want to have a successful reef tank, get live rock in it, right? Even if it's 50%, 60%, 40%, doesn't matter, right? You can always go for a little bit of nice scaping by dead rock or a man-made rock, but honestly, do not leave out the live rock. Okay, in any method, doesn't matter what you're doing. If you have a saltwater aquarium, a reef tank, use live rock, at least a little bit. okay? And it will get, you know, rid of a lot of problems for you that will come in the future and make your tank look really nice, okay? If you have any questions about that, just write them down here. Give me a thumbs up, and if you want me to answer your questions live, come on one of my lives at the weekend. I'm more than happy to do so. Okay, see you then, guys.